Everyone should have to pass a background check before buying a gun. Senate Bill 700 closes Oregon's remaining background check loophole while leaving a sensible carve-out for transfers between family members. Why would any law-abiding gun owner, anybody who's obeying the law today and passing a background check when they purchase a gun at their local gun store, want to leave open a back door for criminals to be able to purchase a gun out of a trunk on the street in Portland? Passing this law is just common sense. I know that the new laws being proposed in Oregon today aren't going to stop every criminal from getting their hands on a gun. But as a mom and as an Oregonian, I have an obligation to try to stand in the way of those criminals to the greatest possible extent. And I urge our senators to send a message to Oregonians that the safety of our citizens, of our families, of our children is their top priority.
On May 30th, 2012, my brother, Joseph Vito Albanese, was drinking coffee at Cafe Racer Espresso in Seattle when a man who was mentally ill and had been arrested for acts of violence on more than one occasion walked in and murdered Joe and 3 others, seriously wounding a 5th. Shortly after, he took the life of another victim. The man owned half a dozen guns. Joseph's murder has turned my life and so many others upside down. It's like I was a salt shaker and a stranger picked me up, unscrewed my top, and dumped my salt all over the floor. But I can't just sweep it all up and throw it in the trash. It took me 55 years to collect all that salt. Now I'm just trying to figure out what I can salvage. It's a long and painful process. What do I want back? What should I get rid of? I am angry, very angry. I'm angry at people who think there should be no limits on gun ownership. I'm angry at the man with the guns and at his family for not getting the help he needed. I'm angry, especially today, at people who play politics with the lives of our children. Senate Bill 347 and Senate Bill 700 are a start. Folks, I have relatives and friends who own guns and live in states much more conservative than ours. When I tell them that if you are 18 or older in Oregon and have a concealed handgun license, you can carry a gun into a school, they are appalled. And we all understand that gun owners must be vetted using criminal background checks. We all know.
When I retired 2 years ago, my primary concern was finding a direction for my energy. I took that concern with me Tuesday, December 11th, 2012, as I went shopping at Clackamas Town Center. Suddenly my world changed, and that concern I had at the beginning of the day was no longer a question. I happened to be caught directly below the shooter. When I heard the 4 or 5 initial shots, I knew it was gunfire and that it was very close. But I couldn't determine from where it was coming. I immediately ran for an open area in a jewelry store, and crouching behind the display counter where none of us dared move, I was close enough to hear the shooter screaming directives at his victims. My attempts to call 911 were answered only with a busy signal. This was a terrifying experience for all of us who were there, and the ramifications of that event remain to this day. I'd like to express my condolences to the families of Steve Forsyth and Cindy Ewell. They're the true victims of this shooting. Now I'm ready to do what's necessary to get these assault weapons off the streets. And I'm looking for anyone who is willing to stand and fight with me. Anyone.